Hi guys, this is Sadik from Debugging.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest RisingOS ROM based on Android 15 onto the Pixel 6a, Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First off, get hold of the latest Android SDK platform tools from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In our case, we have done so in C drive, and as you could see, these are the files of platform tools. Once you have done the extraction, you will now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. USB debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now enable both the toggles. For that, go to the settings menu on your phone, then go to about phone and tap on build number 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. Once that happens, go to system and you should now see developer options. Go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You will now get a prompt on your phone. Tap on OK. You might get one more prompt. In that prompt, tap on allow, and with this, the debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to the address bar of platform tools, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools, or you may also open CMD from the start menu, type in CD, give a space and paste the path of platform tools. Once you are inside the platform tools directory, type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on a PC. So carry out these USB fixes and verify that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, your next course of action is to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that unlocking will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that's well and good, you could refer to a guide and the video and get this job done. In short, just boot your phone to the Fastboot mode and use the Fastboot flashing unlock command. You will then get a prompt on your phone. So use the volume key to highlight, unlock the bootloader and press the power key to confirm. With this, your phone will undergo a wipe and the bootloader will be unlocked, and then you have to boot to the OS via the Fastboot reboot command. Once that is done, make sure to re-enable USB debugging once again. Moving on, you may now get hold of the RisingOS ROM file as well as the partition img file from this link for your phone. For example, as of now, I'm using the Pixel 6a. So the code name is BlueJ for my phone. So download the ROM zip file and the boot, DTBO and vendor boot. Once you have got all the 4 files, you will have to transfer the file inside the platform tools directory. So let me do that as well. This should take only a few seconds. While the files are being transferred, okay, it has been transferred. Now let's rename the file to something shorter. Let me remove the 1 from here. Likewise, let me do the same with the boot and the DTBO as well. And in case of the ROM name, let's also shorten up the name. So let's rename it to ROM and the complete name becomes rom.zip. It will be easier to type in the CMD window now. Moving on, you will now have to boot your phone to the Fastboot mode. For that, just type in ADB, reboot bootloader and hit enter. And your phone should now reboot into Fastboot mode, which should take only a few seconds. So let's just wait for that to happen, and once it's in the Fastboot mode, type in Fastboot devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then you will have to install Fastboot drivers on your PC. We have made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to a guide and install the drivers. Once that is done, right click on the Windows icon or use the Windows plus X shortcut keys and choose Device Manager. Then expand the Android phone section and make sure that your phone is being shown here as Android bootloader interface. So this as well as the serial ID next to Fastboot signify that your PC is able to read the phone in Fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So first off, let's flash the boot file in the boot partition. You may simply copy paste the command here. Next up, let's flash the DTBO file in the DTBO partition. And finally, we will flash the RisingOS recovery file, which is the vendor boot file. So let's flash that as well. And now we will have to reboot our phone to the newly flashed recovery, which is the vendor boot file. It is the RisingOS recovery file. So type in Fastboot reboot recovery and your phone should now reboot into the RisingOS recovery. This should take only a few seconds. Once it's inside the recovery, you will first have to do a format data, which will wipe off all the data from your phone. So if that is well and good, make sure that you have taken a backup beforehand. And now go to factory reset, format data, factory reset and choose format data. And as you could see, the data wipe is now complete. So now go back, select apply update, apply from ADB, and your phone is now in the sideload mode. Let's verify the same. So type in ADB devices and make sure that you are getting the sideload keyword as you could see over here. So now moving on, let's now flash the ROM. So type in ADB sideload, file name which is rom.zip and hit enter. The sideloading will now start and it will take up to around 6 to 8 minutes. So let's just wait for the flashing to complete. So guys, the flashing is now complete. If you want to flash any other zip file such as Magisk or any one of your choice, then tap on yes. Your phone will reboot to recovery and then you may do the sideload of the required zip file. On the other hand, if you don't want to flash any zip file, then tap on no and you will be now on the recovery. In either of the two cases, your last course of action is to do a format data once again. So go to factory reset, format data, format data. So before and after flashing the ROM, at both times you will have to do a format data, and once that is done, just go back and now tap on reboot system now and your phone will now reboot to the newly flashed OS. Do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some time, which is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent times that will not be the case. With that said, let's wait for the boot animation or at least the boot logo to appear, either of which will signify that the flashing has been done successfully. And it might take a few more seconds, around 10 to 12 seconds. And as you could see, this is the RisingOS boot animation. So the flashing has been done. Let's now wait for the ROM setup screen to appear, which might take around 20-25 seconds. So guys, we are now inside the ROM setup screen. Let's get started. As of now, I am skipping the initial setup process and setting up the phone offline. If you want, you may connect your phone to the Wi-Fi, link your Google account and restore all the data. But for the sake of speeding up the setup process, I am skipping all that stuff and we should now be inside the OS in a matter of few seconds. Let's accept these terms and conditions and hit the start button. Well, the wallpaper looks quite nice. And apart from that, you have a few pre-installed apps. Apart from the Google apps, there is the lawn icons wherein you could install third-party icons from here. For all the apps, the list, it's a never-ending list. Then apart from that, you have an automatic call recording app as well, which is a BCR app. This is now there across all the USB ROMs. Then the power menu in QL styles is also there. And apart from that, let's access the settings menu. So this is the new revamp settings menu for Android 15 which is there. Then let's check out the volume panel. Well, strangely, the volume panel is still the older one. For Android 14, it's not revamped. Well, it's not a major cause of concern. Then if you look at the screen recording, so we have the option to record in one single app. You may choose the app from here and the recording will only take place inside that app. As soon as you make a switch to any other app, the recording will pause and only resume once you are back to that app. It is quite a great feature. Apart from that, we also have a new battery information page. Battery information, this is there as well. So you no longer need any third-party battery app. And apart from that, there are quite a lot of battery tweaks over here. The sleep mode, so you may enable it and schedule it, and during that sleep time, the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, sensors all will be turned off. This is quite a great feature I haven't seen across many custom ROMs. In the power mode, you may choose one of these modes. It will mostly be dependent on the kernel, I suppose. Then we have the adaptive charging, which will be charge the phone based on the device usage. The battery information is already there. We have a look. Then percentage based charging control. So you may charge the control and stop the charging at a particular level, let's say 80%. So when your phone reaches the 80% mark, the charging will stop. Likewise, you may also set the start charging level. By default, it sets to 0%, which only makes sense. And the battery widget, you may add that widget in the home screen as well. And apart from that, one more Android 15 feature is the private space. So let's first set a screen lock. For the ease of convenience, I'm using a 3x3 pattern, but it's recommended you choose any other style. And it's now set. So let's now go to private space and let me first confirm my existing lock screen pattern. Now you could either choose the same lock or choose a new lock for the private space. For the ease of convenience, I'm using the same screen lock for now. And you may also add a fingerprint additionally to make it more private. So with this, the private space is now in the app drawers. Just input the password and you could now access all the apps from here. Likewise, you may add new apps from the Play Store directly inside the private space. Apart from that, you also have the option to hide the private space. Enable the toggle, and with this, just lock it once and the private space is now gone even from the app drawer. To access it, you may either do a search from here, private space, tap on it, confirm your password, or now just go back once and you could see it's now enabled. So these were some of the Android 15 features. Let's have a look at the RisingOS specific features. So for that, you have to go to the personalize section, and from here you could get hold of all the goodies. There are way too much customizations, so let's have a look at all of them one at a time. In the lock screen, you have the option to add the widgets, so give it a few seconds, then enable the toggle. You may also add the device info widget if you want. Then in the lock screen widget, the style, let's go with the default one for now, and 2 big widgets, 4 smaller widgets. In the big widget, I am randomly assigning these. You may choose the one which correspond to your need. Let's say the clock, timer, torch, Wi-Fi, ringer. Once that is done, make sure to hit the apply button, give it a few seconds, and then lock the screen. And now let's have a look at the widget. As you could see, so you will have to remove this notification panel and it will look much better, but still these are the 2 big widgets and these are the 4 smaller widgets. And apart from that, this is the device info page, the section which you could also hide. This is the device info. If you want, you may remove it. Then you also have the option to customize it. Widget style, let's go with material square. So choose it and hit the apply button. So it's already implemented. Well and good. Let me now have a look at that as well. So as you could see, it's now squarish, rounded somewhat. So you may change the UI accordingly. Then apart from that, we have the peak display. So it's with minimal lock screen notification style. So let's choose the peak display style with the minimalistic peak display location at the bottom of the screen. So again, you have to give it a few seconds, and as you could see, it's giving us a minimalistic view with no notifications whatsoever, and you will only get the notification icon. This is what I was looking for. So apart from that, let me first remove the device info widget, which is not looking nice. Now moving on, you have the AOD as well. You may enable the AOD image, add an image from the gallery, or also add a text. Let me see whether the option of AOD text is there or not. Since we have an image option, the AOD text option should also be there. Then you may also enable the display for notification and always show date and time, pulse on notification, pulse on double tap. So this is for the pulse notifications when you will get when you pick up the phone or double tap on the phone. Then you may also enable edge lighting. So whenever you get a notification, the edges of the display will light up. You may change the color of the display of the lightning as well from here. But AOD text is missing, only AOD image is there, which does not add up. Anyways, we don't have much control over this for now. In the depth wallpaper, you may enable it, but by default there is no stock depth wallpaper. You will have to get hold of the same from any third-party website. Then apart from that, you may show or hide the carrier name in the status bar, media cover art while playing the music, navigation bar, weather settings. So you may also add a weather in the lock screen, but this will require the GPS and the data to be enabled at all times, which will lead to additional battery drainage. Double tap to sleep on the lock screen. So let me first have a look at that. So this is the AOD screen. This is the lock screen. Double tap to sleep. And if you go to the AOD, because I have enabled AOD, that is why I'm getting this AOD and not the screen off. Double tap to wake is also working well and good. Apart from that, fingerprint authentication vibration. So whenever you interact with the fingerprint, you will feel a vibration as well. Then this is the icon for the fingerprint. There are quite a lot of icons that you could choose from. As you could see over here, you have numerous anime icons, the Pokemon, Avengers, Genshin Impact as well. So these are the various icons. Likewise, apart from that, you could also add some animations to them. As you could see, Bloom and Magic. Some of them are from the OnePlus 7 series as well. Some from the Xiaomi phones. It has all the phones scanning and DNA. I have made a short video on this showing all these animations. You may have a look at that as well from my channel. Then apart from that, you may enable the power menu in the lock screen as well. Next up, let's access the theming engine. First off, we have the boot animation. It's set to default RisingOS. Let's have a look at what all others are there. In the Google, we get the Google Pixel 9 series boot animation. Then Valorant is also there. And apart from that, you also have the option to add your own custom boot animation. For now, let me go with the Google only. Then apart from that, you have the icon packs. In the status bar, let me enable a few toggles. Okay, alarm will not work. Apart from that, let me say flashlight, and you may keep a track of the same at the top right of the screen. So for example, let's go with Pavlova UI, and you could see the changes have been implemented right now. It's now implemented. Then settings UI, so dashboard greetings, you may enable that as well. And then search bar style, let's go with Android 15 revamp. Settings icon style, let's see what all we have in store. So you may choose the Rising UI 2.0. So give it a few seconds, and now we will have a look at that style as well. So let me go back once, and this is the new settings UI for Android 15 style. Apart from that, let me choose any other and show you once more so that you could easily compare them. So let's say Oxygen OS Legacy. Wait for a few seconds, and as you could see, this is the icon for the Android 11. I suppose, yeah, Oxygen OS 11, Android 11 icons. This also looks quite nice. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we have the wallpaper and style section. Wallpaper blur, so you may blur the wallpaper in the background or dim it as well if required. And brightness bar slider, so you may change its UI. Let's go with leafy outline. Give it a few seconds, and as you could see, this is the new leafy outline wallpaper brightness slider. Likewise, you could choose from any one of these options. Then we have the navigation bar style, so if you are using 3-button navigation, you may choose from any one of these styles as well. Then the notification style, currently I don't have any notification. Okay, so I have a few notification. If I choose the iOS style notification, let me see how it looks now. Wait for a few seconds, and the system UI will undergo a restart, and the notifications in the lock screen is not visible because I have turned them off, but it should be there in the QS files. So as you could see, this is the iPhone style notifications. They have tried their best to show it as an iOS, and it works somewhat. Let me choose any other. Let's say Cyberpunk. I don't know how that is going to look. Let's give it a few more seconds, and now let me have a look at the result. Well, this does not look quite nice. It's quite overlapping with the UI. So let me go back to the default only for now. Okay, we also have the power menu styles as well. This has been a recent addition in Android 15. In the power menu, we again have quite a few styles. Let me go with the iOS style, and let me see how it looks. Okay, so they have made the border very transparent, and apart from that, I cannot see any major resemblance with the Android 15 power menu. Apart from that, let's say any other power menu style. Let me go with Cyberpunk. Okay, so we have already looked at Cyberpunk. Let me choose any other style now. Layers, and let's have a look at that, and let me see how it looks. So the layers power menu. Okay, give me a second. I'll just have to unlock the device, and now long press on the power button. The layers one looks a little bit haziness, and it's not any major change whatsoever. Apart from that, you have the option to change the carrier data style as well. You may choose from any one of these styles. As you could see, it has a long list of animations. Then you have the progress bar style as well. This is something new. Currently nothing is going on in the backend, so I might not be able to show you this UI. Screen of animation, let's go with the CRT. And well, for it to be implemented, you will have to do a system UI restart once again. And in the system animation style, Android P or the scale, let's go with the Android P style. Whenever you interact with the various system components, the style will be for Android P. The volume panel style, let me say outline styles, and let's have a look at that feature as well. So as you could see, it's a new outline style of volume panel. This might work for some of you, but it's average looking. Anyways, apart from that, we have the Wi-Fi icon styles as well that you could implement. Then next up, let's go to the toolbox, and in the extras, so it has its own AI assistant as well, which is quite great to see. Although I have never been a fan of AI and I hardly use AI, but for most of you, I guess you might have already been on the AI train, and if you are looking to try AI, then this might be a handy option. Apart from the one we have, the Gemini or the ChatGPT, and even the new one which has just been launched. Let me now not take the name of that because it's quite in an early stage and is somewhat controversial. Anyways, apart from that, you could also enable RAM boost, and it will take the storage space and give you some amount of RAM. Then you may also enable the sidebar. Let's add a few apps. Let's say calculator, calendar, and camera, settings, and Play Store. And as you could see, you could now access all these apps from here, or tap on this icon to access the app drawer, and you could then move it wherever required, maximize it using the middle icon, pin it somewhere using the left icon, and hit the cross icon to close it as well. So for now, I don't want to use the sidebar because it usually conflicts with the UI experience for me. Apart from that, you could also use the smart pixel. So whenever your phone battery is low, it will automatically turn off 3/4 of the pixel or 75% of the pixels to save battery. Smart power off, it will automatically power off the device at a scheduled time to save the battery. Then there are a few navigation tweaks. So if you are using a 3-button navigation or even 2-button navigation, you may assign these actions to those buttons. In case of the navigation pill, having these actions assigned is quite a difficult task. You will not be able to use it. Then under security, you could hide the developer status and OEM unlocking and USB debugging from various third-party and system apps as well, especially the banking apps. Then apart from that, security features, this has been done. So spoofing, this is the most important for me. So you may enable spoof, and in spoofing, you may enable the spoofing for Google apps as well. Then you may also enable GMS spoof to pass the play integrity attestation test as well. The play integrity, for now, our phone has been spoofed to the Google device. Codename is Tita. It's the Pixel 7 Pro, I suppose. Okay, yes, it's the Pixel 7 Pro. Then apart from that, you may update the values as well. So as of now, if your phone is not passing the play integrity test, then go online and tap on update play integrity fix. It will then rectify the issue. Or if you have a JSON file, you may also manually upload the JSON file. Okay, one more thing. By the play integrity fix, we mean that your phone will pass the basic and the device test. You will still fail the strong test, but failing a strong test is not a major cause of concern. This is because most of the banking apps only require the basic and the device test. But if you want the strong test to pass as well, then you could refer to my guide. And in this guide, just drop in your comments via your email ID, and I will share the unrevoked keybox XML file. You could use that XML file and the modules, all the modules which are given here, flash the modules, and then you'll be able to get the job done and pass all the 3 tests. But please only use the module if required, because the keybox XML file is quite hard to find for me. So anyways, moving on. Let's have a look at some of the other features. You also have the Google Photos Unlimited Storage in original quality. This will spoof the phone to the Pixel XL, and which is quite a handy feature for me as well. Apart from the toolbox, we have the colors. So you may change the theming engine and choose a color from here. Let's say expressive, or it's somewhat more brownish in color. Expressive is more contrasting. Fruit salad. Let me see how it looks. So give it a few seconds. It's a little bit purple in color. Tonal spot is also, let me see, it's grayish in color. So for now, let me go with the default only. Then you may also enable accent color and choose a color of your choice from here. For example, let's say the blue color, and hit the icon, and it will now be blue in color. As you could see, this looks much better for me. Then you may also tweak the background and luminous as well. Then you have the font styles. These are the various fonts that you could choose from. Whatever font you apply will be applied across the entire UI and UX of the OS. For example, this is the nothing dot font style. Just hit the apply button, and it's now implemented across the UI UX, as you could see. Anyways, for now, let me go back to the default font style and hit the apply button. It's implemented. Then we have the clock face. So it has some handy clock style. This is for the OnePlus clock style, and this is the coding one. That's just about it. So if you choose this clock style, you may also change their font if you would like to say. For example, this is a font, and as you could see, the font is changed. Likewise, you may choose any of this font if you are using a third-party clock style. So let's see, all the different types of clock styles are there. For now, let me go with the stock only. This looks quite nice. And in the stock one, I will choose the OnePlus. Hit the apply button, and it will now be implemented in a few seconds. Once that is done, these are the few QoS toggles. You may add a header image in the QoS as well. Enable it and choose the header image from here. Let's say X-Men and choose the X-Men image from here, or you may either choose any one of your choice. Let's go with Cyclops. Tap on it and it's now implemented. As you could see over here, it's quite boring, although Cyborg will look much better over here. Then apart from the header image, you have the colored QoS notification icon. So as you could see, by default, all the icons are white. If you enable it, you will now get colored icons, but you might have to do a system UI restart for the changes to take place. As you could see, they are still white in color. So do a system UI restart and then they will be colorful. You may also change the opacity transparency of the QoS tiles. As you could see, they are now transparent. Then QoS tile style, let's go with the square tiles and they will then shift to the Android 11 style. Let me show you that. This is how it looks in Android 11. So you could also add more QoS tiles in the layout as well. But first, let's have a look at the UI style. So let's say Cyberpunk, and let me have a look at how it looks. So Cyberpunk will get the job done, but it's not that much good. Then two-tone accent, let me have a look at that as well. This is also nice. Apart from that, quick setting widgets, you may also add that QoS tiles layout. So you may increase the number of columns and rows. For example, let me add 3 columns in the portrait layout. And you could see we now have 3 columns and now this looks much better. And you may also change the number of rows as well over here and they will be implemented. Just give me 1 second. I have to increase the transparency because that does not look quite nice. And okay, now it's well and good. Let's keep it a little lower. Some transparency will do. Anyways, moving on. Okay, one more thing. You may also change the positioning of the brightness slider and you may change the animation style as well. Let's say bounce effect on the x-axis, and if you tap on it, you could see a slight bounce was going in the x-axis. It's for a shorter time period. Then apart from that, we have a few status bar tweaks as well. Let's have a look at that. You clock and date. You may show or hide the seconds icons as well. Add a background chip to the clock. Let's say solid gradient and it will be added. Then background chip. As you could see, it's now added. Then you may show or hide the AM PM. Let's say the normal one, and let's show a small day as well. All of them are now added. From here also you may enable the colored icons and show notification count. It will act as notification badges. It will show the pending notification next to each apps. Then you may change the battery style as well. Let's go with portrait iOS 16, landscape iOS 16. As you could see, it's now implemented. Then apart from that, you may show or hide the battery percentage as well, or add a logo on the status bar. It's at the top left. You may choose any of these logo. Currently the logo is overlapping with the gradient as well, so I have to turn off the gradient and only then the icons will be visible. So for now, let's keep the logo turned off. Double tap to sleep on the status bar. Let me have a look. This is working well and good. So this is quite great to see. Double tap to wake is also working along the expected lines. Quick pull down, so you may choose, let's say, right, and let me see, it will open in the expanded form. Then you may also control the brightness by swiping on the status bar itself. Let me try it out once. And okay, so it's conflicting with the back gesture. Currently this feature is not working along the, okay, now it's working well and good, as you could see. So it requires somewhat patience and a little bit of practice as well. Moving on, now we have the gestures. Shake gesture, let's say assign an action, take a screenshot, and let me see. So the screenshot has been taken. 3-finger swipe gesture, so you may also assign any one of these things. Let's say toggle the notification panel, and as you could see, it's now visible. 3-finger long press gesture, you may also add a gesture over here as well. So open the last app, and currently I don't have any app enabled. That is why there is no app being opened. Then we have the icon shape. So whatever icon you choose from will be applied across the app drawer and the home screen both. Let me show you that. It's the app drawer, home screen, and the app drawer, as you could see. Apart from icon shape, we have the notification tweaks from wherein you could enable and disable the various notifications. Likewise, you may choose a sound from here and turn off the screenshot sound as well. Change the volume panel to the left hand side. Let me show you. It's usually on the right and now it's on the left. Then turn on or off the vibration, and apart from that, You may also have a look at the wallpaper and style, which offers the OSPF style wallpapers, and this is the various clock styles. They are all being shifted to the top left. Then you may choose wallpaper from here and the theme will change accordingly thanks to the Material UI theming engine, which will automatically pick up the dominant blend color from the wallpaper and apply the color across the entire UI and UX. Apart from that, there are quite a lot of wallpapers that you could choose from. As you could see, some of them are the pixel wallpapers, some of them are the RisingOS own wallpaper. All of these looks quite nice, to be precise. And then you may also change and choose more colors from here. Enable the white theme from here as well, or the light theme. Then if you go to the home screen, you have the option to enable theme icons, and as you could see, they are now implemented. You may change the app rate size as well. Maximum we have the 5x5, but that's more than sufficient for me. And apart from that, let's have a look at the home settings. So over here we don't have any major tweak as such. It's just the normal ones. So this ROM does not have the option to theme the app drawer. In most of the ASP ROM, there is that option in the home settings, but it's missing from here. But it is not a major cause of concern for me. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching. Just let me show you, it's the latest Android 15 build of the RisingOS for the Pixel 6a and the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro.